Every breath you take depends on this cycle. It is an immense, invisible process that connects every living thing on Earth. This is the story of carbon, the building block of life. It is in the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. The journey of carbon is a continuous loop, a silent dance that has kept our world in balance for millions of years. This cycle is the planet's circulatory system, moving carbon from place to place, ensuring life can flourish in every corner of the planet, from the highest mountains to the deepest oceans. This grand cycle begins in the atmosphere. Here, carbon exists as a gas called carbon dioxide. It's a tiny fraction of the air, yet profoundly important. It acts like a thin blanket, trapping heat from the sun. Without it, Earth would be a frozen, barren world. The atmosphere is a vast holding area, a temporary home for carbon atoms, waiting for the next step in this ancient, unending planetary rhythm. On land, the great forests of our world act as the planet's green lungs. They breathe in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Through a miraculous process called photosynthesis, plants use the energy from sunlight to turn this gas into sugars, the food they need to grow. In doing so, they lock away carbon in their leaves, their branches, their trunks, and their roots. An ancient tree is a living monument of stored carbon, a testament to centuries of sunlight and air transformed into solid wood. These forests are not just collections of trees, they are vast, living reservoirs of carbon, crucial to maintaining the balance of our atmosphere. The carbon does not simply stay within the plant, it moves through the entire ecosystem. When an animal, perhaps a deer, eats the leaves of a plant, that carbon is transferred to the animal's body. It becomes part of its muscles, its bones, and its blood. The carbon then continues its journey up the food chain. When a predator, like a wolf, hunts the deer, the carbon is passed on once again. In this way, carbon is woven into the very fabric of life on land. While plants breathe in carbon dioxide, all living things, including plants, also breathe it out. It is the exhale of the living world. It is a perfect rhythmic exchange, a give and take that has maintained the stability of our planet's climate for millennia. The world's oceans are the largest active carbon sink on our planet. They hold about 50 times more carbon than the atmosphere. The surface of the sea is in constant contact with the air, and a great exchange takes place. Carbon dioxide from the atmosphere dissolves directly into the seawater. This process is driven by simple physics, a natural balancing act between the concentration of the gas in the air and in the water. The colder the water, the more carbon dioxide it can hold. The vast frigid waters near the poles are therefore especially important for drawing carbon out of the atmosphere and into the deep. Once in the ocean, carbon does not simply float around. It becomes part of the ocean's chemistry, but it also enters the marine food web, much like it does on land. Tiny microscopic plants called phytoplankton float near the sunlit surface. Like the trees in a forest, they perform photosynthesis. They absorb dissolved carbon dioxide and use sunlight to create their own food. These minuscule organisms are the foundation of nearly all life in the sea. They are the pastures of the ocean, converting inorganic carbon into living matter, and in doing so, they form the first link in a vast and complex food chain. A blue whale, the largest animal that has ever lived, is a colossal store of carbon, built atom by atom from the tiniest life forms in the sea. This constant gentle rain of organic material is known as marine snow. Beneath our feet lies another crucial part of this global system, the soil. The ground is not just dirt, it is a living, breathing ecosystem teeming with life. It is a vast and complex reservoir of carbon. When plants and animals die, their organic matter is broken down by an army of decomposers. Plants, animals, earthworms, microscopic bacteria, fungi. This process creates a dark, rich substance called humus. Humus is incredibly stable and full of carbon. It is what makes soil fertile and allows new plants to grow. The world's soils hold more than twice the amount of carbon found in the atmosphere. The carbon stored in the soil is not static. It is part of a slow but dynamic cycle. Plant roots probe deep into the ground, exchanging carbon with the soil's microbial communities. Earthworms churn the soil. Other burrowing creatures mix organic matter and help stabilize carbon. This hidden world is a critical buffer, regulating carbon in the atmosphere. Healthy soils lock away carbon for decades or centuries, keeping it out of the air as CO2. However, this stored carbon is vulnerable. Human activities can release it very quickly. Massive amounts of stored carbon return to the atmosphere as CO2. For thousands of years, the carbon cycle has maintained a remarkable balance. We're in harmony. But in the last 2 centuries we have profoundly disturbed this ancient rhythm. We discovered that the fossil fuels buried deep in the earth, coal, oil and natural gas, held an incredible amount of energy. These fuels are the compressed remains of ancient life, a concentrated store of carbon that was locked away for millions of years. By burning them in our factories, our power plants and our cars, we are releasing this ancient geological carbon into the atmosphere at a staggering rate. We are short-circuiting a process that should take millions of years and compressing it into a few generations. So what happens when we add too much carbon to the cycle, far faster than nature can remove it? The atmospheric blanket of carbon dioxide becomes thicker. We are seeing more extreme weather events, melting glaciers and rising sea levels. We are pushing the planet's life support systems to their very limit. We must find ways to reduce the amount of carbon we are releasing into the atmosphere and protect the natural systems that absorb it. Our future, and the future of all life, depends on our wisdom to restore the balance. If you learned something new, hit like and subscribe.